Are you looking for a way to save up quite a bit amount of money in a relatively short time period while still working on a unique workplace? I might have something for you. In this video I want to show you what it is like to work on a mountain hut and why I think it is a great job to save up money for your upcoming journeys. I want to show you what it is like to live up here, to work up here. I will talk about the benefits, also the downsides, and in the end also show you what it requires to get a job like this. So let me welcome you at Störhaus am Untersberg. We are located on the German side of Untersberg at 1894 meters above sea level. Störhaus exists since 1901 and was renovated and got expanded in 2019. We offer food and beverages for hikers and climbers that visit us and can also accommodate up to 59 guests per night. The main jobs here are of course cooking, cleaning, caring for the guests. However, let me introduce you to the day-to-day life we live here. At 6 a.m. latest, the day starts with breakfast. So you try to get your shit together and look like a decent human being, because at 6:30 the first guests will storm the buffet. We offer a nice selection of local goods, starting from bread, cold cuts, some sorts of muesli and milk, yogurt, stuff like that. Most important is the coffee pillar, because if empty, people go straight to rage mode. After you survived the daily breakfast havoc and had some coffee yourself, it's time to wash the dishes and do the beds for the next excited hiking group to arrive and have their sweetest mountaineering dreams.
Servus, der Zimmerdienst. Stoffel und ich, der Stegi. Immer zuverlässig, immer top drauf. Fertig.
Also the toilets and bathrooms are waiting to be cleaned, but I successfully avoided that kind of job until the last day. At noon there is usually the first wave of guests, mostly daily hikers, locals or tourists that take a day hike and come up for a beer or lunch. At this time I usually start my shift behind the bar, so I serve the guests their beers, coffee, tea, lemonades and other stuff. We also serve food from soups to some daily changing dishes. With the beginning afternoon the guests who stay overnight also arrive, so I gotta check them in and show them the way to their rooms as well. These shifts are very different every day, depending on the weekday and whether you get nearly no customers or hundreds. A rainy Wednesday is like the perfect day to focus on other projects, like baking cakes for the weekend or making hummus for the breakfast buffet. This is how you make the Middle Eastern grannies wet. Meanwhile, on a Saturday, you sometimes can't really leave the bar for 10 hours straight. After 18 o'clock we serve dinner, including a soup, a main course and a dessert. This can be one of the funniest but also one of the most annoying parts of the job. It really depends on the guests. Until 10 p.m. I ask everybody to pay their bills and respect the curfew. Then there is still the cleaning of the bar to do and prepare all the stuff needed for the breakfast. And that's pretty much it, a usual day on the hut. Don't worry, you don't work the whole day. This is like all the jobs that have to be done in one day. Usually there are shifts. Some people start in the morning with breakfast and finish at noon and maybe start again in the evening for some cleaning jobs, but you don't work the whole day. You will have time for yourself as well. Also don't worry, no day is like the other. There is really a very small chance that you will ever get bored. Sometimes there is a false fire alarm at 5 in the morning, or you wake up and realize the electricity is off again for no reason. And even if none of those events happen, you will find a job to do, like general maintenance of the house, bringing wood, or some of the not so nice jobs like repairing the toilets, taking care of the fat separator and other stuff. So some of the maintenance jobs are maybe not for the faint-hearted. Anyway, before getting to the benefits and also downsides of the job, let's have a look into the heart of the hut. Where do we store our stuff? Where does water and electricity come from? And also how do food and drinks get up here? Let's start with the resupply. Everything you get in terms of food and drinks at the hut comes with the helicopter. That means we get 2 to 6 supply flights every 2 weeks, sometimes even including firewood or gas cartridges and other materials. Before that, however, all the empties have to be packed onto the flight mat. That's also gonna be sent back down. When the fresh nets arrive, food and drinks are stored in the freezer and the refrigerator or other places as required. Recently we also had water bottles for sale because water is a very important topic for us. We only have rainwater in the hut. That means that there is neither a spring on the mountain nor a line from the valley. And because of the insufficient rain in the first few months, our water supply was at its absolute limit at the end of July. Here's a little insight into how the whole system works. We are going into a water tank now. So this is where we collect all the rainwater, and we can save up to, I don't know if you can see, we can save up to about 50 cubic meters. And after this it goes to the purification system, which I will show you right next. You can see all the water comes from the roof and is collected down here in the tank. So that's where all the water comes from. And after being collected in the tank, it runs through our UV system or purification system. First it comes up here, so it starts here, goes up here, through the first filter, the second filter, the main filter, and then inside here there is a UV light that more or less kills all the germs, bacteria, so that really makes it drinkable. So the dirt you saw is collected latest here. So I don't know if there is maybe even a pre-filter somewhere, probably. And all the other dirt is collected in those two filters, and then the real purification of the water happens in here. Then the water goes down into this tank, and this is where the clean water is actually inside. This one fills up automatically and always refills itself when it comes to a lower level. Then the water is pumped through the pump and goes up into the house, and this is what we use as drinking water here. Another topic that kept us in suspense over the last few weeks was the electricity. Actually, there is a photovoltaic system, which of course only supplies enough energy when the sun is shining, and a line from the valley, but this was damaged by a lightning strike at the beginning of the season. So we had to get by with an emergency generator for several weeks. You see, that's what I meant with it never gets boring up here. And have you ever wondered where all your shit goes when you're sitting on the throne? We collect it in big bags and bring it down to the valley at the end of the season. The water goes underground through several cleaning stages and is released back into nature after being clarified. But sometimes the drain gets blocked and then you have to do the rather unpleasant work. So if you ever take a dump in a in a mountain hut, this is probably where it goes. Down there below the big bag there is a clog, but in this case it's something is stuck there, so sometimes we have to go down here and clean it. Porco Dio, oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god!
Soll ich mal Schnaps holen erstmal?
Oh.
Frischen Luft für die Stoffel.
Oh, du Sau! Hier, komm! Käfer. Schau wie süß, ein Laufkäfer. We found the drain and unplugged it. Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what we needed to do.
Lach doch mal!
Ich will eine Gehaltserhöhung. But it's one of the jobs that you remember for some time. It's very important to disinfect yourself inside and out afterwards.
Cheers.
Cheers, Prost.
So let's get to the benefits that this job brings, especially for people who travel. For me, number one benefit is nature. There is an incredible amount of alpine flowers and wildlife. Around the house we see on a daily basis chamois, crows, jackdaws, deers, hares, salamanders, and sometimes even griffon vultures. And don't forget the incredible view. We look onto the town of Berchtesgaden. Behind that we can see the legendary Watzmann, the Wimbachgries, Königssee and many summits like Hochkönig. So despite the incredible nature, you also live up here and you get your food up here. So you don't have any expenses, if you don't have any bills to pay. So in that case, when you don't have to pay rent or for a car, insurance, stuff like this, when you don't have to pay a lot of money, then nearly everything you earn up here you can keep. You can save up for your upcoming travels. I even cancelled Spotify and Netflix before coming up here to save the most money possible. Also, while the rest of Europe is suffering from a massive heat wave, up in the mountains it's quite cool. Another positive aspect is that you learn a lot. I don't own a house and probably never will, but I know quite a bit about photovoltaic and water purification now, all thanks to this job. Skills I never thought I will ever have. But up here you need to know a little bit about the house and how it works, because you cannot just call someone to fix it. It takes a while for handyman to get up here. Also, you learn to value the small things. Well, you usually maybe already did do this while traveling, except you're rich as fuck, but you get what I mean, I think. You learn to value resources like water, food, electricity. It's all not so easy up here. Also, you meet a shitload of interesting people, like some very famous climbers or cavers are some of our frequent guests. What are the downsides? Well, you stay up here for a pretty long time usually, at least for a month. If you don't like the job or get along quite well with the team, I think that this can really suck. For me personally, the biggest downside are some of the guests. Like, I'm not a tourism or hospitality guy, worker itself. I really mainly choose this job for the experience, and I can not in my wildest dreams think about working in hospitality or in a restaurant or whatever in a city or something. Most of the guests we have up here are a bit more relaxed, I would say. Still, there are some picky bastards that just come up here to be annoying. Maybe it's some wrong advertisement that some internet pages or some travel agencies give you, but this is not a 4-star hotel. I'm sorry, Karen, but we are a mountain hut and we are running low on water and electricity, and I'm sorry, but I don't have a gluten-free vegan T-bone steak, and I also don't know how the fucking weather in Shanghai in 3 weeks will be. Fuck you, Karen. Also, if you're not able to adapt to a minimalistic lifestyle and you need a shower or wash your hair every day, this job probably isn't for you. What are the requirements to get a job like this? What do you need to know, what you need to learn before going to work on a mountain hut? Sometimes you need no experience at all, sometimes a little bit of experience and knowledge about the hospitality or gastronomy would be a little bit better. Sometimes the huts are looking specifically for a cook or something, then of course you need to be a real cook. But many huts also just take people who want to experience and learn something new. So for Austria, Germany and Switzerland, I will put some links into the description where you can directly apply to the jobs available at the moment. The recruiting season for next year already starts in the winter before. So if you want to apply for the summer season of 2024, already apply before winter, like December of 2023. So for us, the adventure ended after 2 months, and our resume is that this can be an amazing job, also quite challenging of course, but we really enjoyed the nature and views that the mountain offered us. But altogether, this was probably our last job in gastronomy, in hospitality. I'm very thankful for learning a lot about how to maintain a house like this and being reminded how valuable some of our everyday resources are, and also we met some really amazing people during our stay. It is a unique workplace and it's worth taking close looks at your surroundings because you will find amazing plants and animals. But you also have to deal with tourists every day, and let's be honest, tourists are some of the worst kind of humans. So, what are your thoughts? What are your takes on working on a mountain hut? Do you think you could do it, and what are your favorite jobs to save up for a journey? Let us know in the comments, subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to follow our journey. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye!